Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. Happy Easter. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, police are investigating an early morning shooting on St. Thomas that has left a 41-year-old man dead. Here's more from the VIPD.
On Monday, April 17th at about 3:33 a.m., a citizen called 911 and reported shots fired in the area of Bolongo Bay. Upon officers' arrival to the scene, the officer observed a male sitting behind the driver's seat of a vehicle with what appeared to be blood on his clothing and body. The victim had what appeared to be gunshot wounds to his body and was pronounced dead by the medical personnel on the scene. The deceased was later identified as 41-year-old Naeem Jamal by a family member. This case is presently under investigation by the Major Crime Unit. Any person having information regarding this incident are asked to contact the Homicide Investigation Unit at 340-774-2211 or 340-714-9830. You can also call the anonymous tip line, Crime Stoppers, VI at 1-800-222-TIPS or 911.
Again, call police if you can assist in that investigation. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Meanwhile, the VIPD is looking for 67-year-old Jose Burgos of St. Croix. Mr. Burgos is a Hispanic male, height 5'4", weighs 130 pounds, black gray hair, brown eyes with a light skin complexion. Police say he frequents the vegetable market in Frederick Town. Jose Burgos was last seen on Sunday, April 9th, 2017 by Napoleon's restaurant in Frederick Town. He was wearing a green t-shirt, white shorts, pants, and brown slippers. If seen, Burgos, please call 911 or the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 340-778-2211. On April 4th, around 9:30 a.m., Central Dispatch transmitted that a burglary had occurred at Wharfside Bistro restaurant in Cruz Bay, St. John. Police say the suspect entered the restaurant after it was closed and broke into the refrigerator, stealing over $1,000 worth of alcohol. On April 11, at approximately 8:08 a.m., Central Dispatch transmitted another burglary that had occurred at High Tide Restaurant in Cruz Bay. Investigation revealed that the suspect for both incidents was 66-year-old Malik Cheatham of Solberg. Removed from the kitchen was food, liquor, sodas, and an iPod. Cheatham was located on April 13 at approximately 4:40 p.m. on St. John. He was placed under arrest and charged with burglary and trespassing. Reminder, tomorrow is the last day to file your taxes. However, every year there are many residents who just don't have it all together. Not to fret. The best thing you can do if you know you are going to miss the deadline is file for an extension. If not, you risk penalties. Here's more.
Penalties assessed at $205 per return, or 1% of the balance due. Also, if a taxpayer filing a tax return and they have a balance due, they could file an extension, Form 4868, and indicate on that form the tax liability and whatever is due. They don't have to pay whatever is due, but they have to properly fill out the form estimating the tax liability, and if they're going to pay something, then they would pay it when they turn in the 4868.
And here's an update. The April 8th special elections has cost taxpayers $90,000. There has been no official statement from the Virgin Islands election system regarding the certification of votes. Mathematically, Janelle K. Saru won the elections 10 days ago. However, Kevin Rodriguez, who ran 6th place in the 2016 general elections, has filed an emergency motion asking the 3rd U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to block the certification of the special election. And the United States Court of Appeals for the 3rd Circuit is a federal court that has the power of higher court to review decisions and change outcomes of decisions of lower courts, such as district courts. In support of Rodriguez, the Democratic Party of the Virgin Islands St. Thomas District has written to the St. Thomas Board of Elections asking the system not to certify the April 8th special election until the 3rd Circuit Court of Appeals issues a verdict on Rodriguez's appeal. Count on 2 to keep you updated on that. According to reports, St. Thomas cruise traffic is projected to decline by 11%. However, reportedly, the island of St. Croix will see a significant increase in cruise ships, and to help spur visitor spending and to develop positive experiences in Charlotte and Raleigh from cruise ship passengers, the governor assembled a task force, as we shared last week, and met with those individuals last Wednesday. Here's more.
St. Thomas has been the primary port in the Virgin Islands, receiving thousands of cruise ship visitors. However, visitors' experiences have not been positive nor lucrative in the St. Thomas district.
So the cruise lines are obviously interested in what their passengers are saying to them. Why are some of the underlying issues occurring in terms of spend, in terms of passengers off the vessels, in terms of transportation?
Recently, the chairman of Carnival, the largest cruise operation in the world, corresponded with Governor Mapp about his vacation experience in St. Thomas.
He sent several photos to me and a description of his visit. And by his description, it was not a good visit. It was a horrible visit.
In light of recent reports, the governor has assembled a Charlotte and Raleigh task force made up of both private and public sectors to develop strategies that will entice visitor experiences and spending. In a Senate session held on March 28th, the St. Thomas Senator Tregenza Roach inquired about marketing St. Thomas further, but Commissioner Doty informed that there wasn't a marketing problem, but rather there was a product issue.
If we are to be honest with ourselves, that not much has changed on Main Street in 20 years.
In the task force meeting, the governor called for the renewal and revitalization of St. Thomas.
Maybe I, as a destination, I'm not offering enough variety and newness and energy in the product.
Senator Neville James, the chairman of the 32nd Legislature's Committee of Economic Development, stated that cruise ships have to be also held accountable for the negative visitor experiences.
To me, they've actually undermined the destinations by offering whatever they are, offering so much on the cruise ships.
The Charlotte and Raleigh Task Force is comprised of retail stores, ground transportation operators, spirits distributors, restaurants, Port Authority, the West Indian Company, tourism, and the Department of Public Works. As the Trump administration nears the end of its first 100 days, it's dealing with an international challenge that appears to be getting more complicated by the day. What to do with North Korea's nuclear provocations? It comes as Vice President Pence visiting the region and offering tough talk to the North Korean leader. Kristen Holmes is in Washington with the latest on this delicate diplomatic situation.
While Easter eggs were rolling at the White House Monday,
Happy Easter and have a great, great time.
Halfway around the world in South Korea, Vice President Mike Pence was rolling out a new warning to the North Korean regime.
All options are on the table. North Korea would do well not to test his resolve or the strength of the armed forces of the United States in this region.
The vice president on a 10-day trip to the region, arriving in Seoul just hours after North Korea's failed missile test over the weekend. During a dramatic visit to the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea, Pence saying the Trump White House may not show the restraint of previous administrations.
We're going to abandon the failed policy of strategic patience.
Ramping up pressure on China to take a more aggressive stance.
We've seen China begin to take some actions to bring pressure on North Korea, but there needs to be more.
The president tweeting about China's role in the situation over the weekend, and on Monday firing off another verbal warning shot to North Korea.
Hi, Mr. President. Any message to North Korea?
Behave.
Trump also reiterating that he hopes the situation can be solved peacefully. The president's national security advisor echoing that stance, but also highlighting the urgency of the threat.
This problem is coming to a head, and so it's time for us to undertake all actions we can, short of a military option, to try to resolve this peacefully.
In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the New York Stock Exchange with our Stock Market Watch. And there are the numbers. We can see everything's up. The Dow 183, NASDAQ 51, S&P 500 up 20. Coming up on News 2, many baskets on hand filled with Easter eggs and more. We'll have highlights, plus the Carnival Queen competition highlights. Mary Alice Prosper is crowned Carnival Queen 2017. That's coming up next. Some great entertainment there from the Lionel Roberts Stadium. Tune in for our Carnival Corner coming up shortly. Innovative Choice customers, are you ready? The Better Together team of Innovative and Choice Wireless employees, they are physically coming together at Tutu Park Mall location, St. Thomas, April 19th, to prepare for the grand unveiling of the new brand and customer experience. Well, to prepare for that, the Havenside Mall location was permanently closed on April 13. Vice President of Public Relations and Governmental Affairs, Jennifer Matarangas-King, said this has been in the works over the last 10 months. And she added, many of our customers have multiple services, and we will be unveiling a customer experience center that will excite you while providing the products and services you have been requesting for communication and entertainment needs. Now, the grand reveal of the new name of the merged company is expected to be made at the grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony at the Tutu Park Mall location, St. Thomas, Wednesday, April 19th at 9 a.m. Innovative Choice's business offices and wireless retail stores will have abbreviated business hours on Tuesday, April 18th, instead of the company's standard opening time of 8 a.m. The business office and retail store at Tutu Park in St. Thomas and Marketplace in St. John will be opening promptly at 10 a.m. to facilitate an important early morning company meeting for St. Thomas and St. John employees. The offices on St. Croix will open at 8 a.m. However, they will be closing at 3 p.m. to facilitate a company meeting for St. Croix employees. Time for our Carnival Corner. Hundreds of Virgin Islanders came out Saturday night to see the Carnival Queen competition and watched as Mary Alice Prosper was crowned as Carnival Queen 2017. It was a show that brought out the best in glamour, business, and talent in the territory. This year's Carnival Queen show was one not to miss. The Lionel Roberts Stadium was filled up with fans, friends, sponsors, and family who not only enjoyed the show but had its breathtaking moments during the culture wear category and talent show. 5 talented, beautiful, and intelligent young ladies vied for the title of the 65th anniversary Carnival Queen. Now, 3 segments were already prejudged, namely the presentation, speech, promotional campaign, and the judge's personal interview. And these scores were included in the overall total scores for the contestants. All of the young ladies did a wonderful job, but there was only one winner. Here are some highlights from the show.
147 points. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 5. Contestant number 5.
Congratulations to her. Now, these are the 2017 Carnival Queen results, including the scores there. Miss Congeniality, Anakia Hatchett and Amanisha Bailey, both tied. And Miss Photogenic, Carissa Chesterfield. Miss Cooperative, Mary Alice Prosper. Best Talent, Carissa Chesterfield. Best Lady of Yesteryear, Carissa Chesterfield. Best Promotional Campaign, Amanisha Bailey. Miss Intellect, Mary Alice Prosper. Best Evening Wear, Carissa Chesterfield. Second runner-up, Amanisha Bailey. And first runner-up, Carissa Chesterfield. Congratulations to all the young ladies. You did a wonderful job. Well, the very next day, many of the territory's finest talent made their way back to the Lionel Roberts Stadium with parents for the annual Toddlers Derby, traditional games, and best dressed as a doll competition. Youngsters from about 8 months to the age of 7, they hit the red carpet. The parents did whatever they could to draw the youngsters to that finish line. The younger ones crawled, the older ones ran like champions. Many adorable young ones competed. Now, the day concluded with the traditional games, which of course gave the young ones an opportunity to revisit the past of their elders. The games included marbles, jacks, two-wheelbarrow, and the spinning tops. Now, the best dressed as a doll competition was also held, and the winners are second runner-up Amaya Marks, first runner-up, we're going to see the pictures there, Annabelle Bushelty, and then the winner, which we're going to see in a little bit there, Kelly X Henley. Congratulations to all the young competitors. This evening, it's the Roy Lesher Schneider Hospital annual pre-carnival celebration. That began around 6 p.m. And then tomorrow evening, gets ready. It's the Junior Calypso competition, which kicks off at 8 p.m. at the Lionel Roberts Stadium. And then look into Wednesday, it's Cultural Night, King and Queen of the Band, the costume extravaganza. That's at 8 p.m. Then Friday, it's the anticipated opening of the Carnival Village at the Fort Christian parking lot at 6 p.m. Today is Easter Monday. Many businesses were closed throughout the territory in commemoration of the Easter celebration. Government offices, most schools, public and private, were closed from Holy Thursday until today, Easter Monday. The origins of Easter, most believe, date back to the beginnings of Christianity. Easter Sunday marked the end of Lent, which is a 40-day period of fasting and reflection. Normal government office hours will resume on Tuesday, April 18th. Well, Yacht Haven Grand held a spring fling with an egg hunt, bouncy house, arts and crafts, and more. You can see the cute ones there. There was a parade with a lot of sculptures that went around the shopping center's veranda area. Now, the Easter Bunny was spotted as well. Many children brought their Easter basket for the egg hunt and had their face painted. They also had the opportunity to meet the Easter Bunny, and there's a little parade that took place there with some awesome cultural artwork there. Then, Impact in Your World Christian Ministries, they invited the children to join them at the 3rd annual helicopter egg drop hunt that took place at the Sheldon Molly High School field. Now, the egg drop hunt was different from any other hunt we've seen. A helicopter dropping the eggs, about 3,000 of them. After the copter arrived, the children scrambled onto the field, gathering up as much eggs as possible with baskets in hand, because prizes were given out to children who collected the most eggs. Now, early in the day, the children participated in traditional games like potato sack and spoon races. The United Way, they teamed up with Impact in Your World for this event. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.
Well, as we take a look across the southern Caribbean here and the Virgin Islands, we are dealing with a frontal boundary here, and low-level jet bringing moisture, and we've had some pretty good showers around for today. In fact, around St. Croix, we saw over 2 inches in rainfall there. And you can see how we've had some showers here around the islands. Now, looking at tonight's forecast, we'll still see some spotty showers with a temperature of 74 degrees. In St. John's for tomorrow, 83 degrees, not quite as active, but we're still going to see a couple of spotty showers. Not quite as much as we saw for your day today. 83 degrees in St. Thomas with a couple of spotty showers. And as we take a look at St. Croix, you're going to have a partly sunny sky with a couple of spotty showers and a temperature of 84 degrees. We do have a small craft advisory in effect. Waves are 6 to 8 feet, and we have winds out of the east at 10 to 15 knots on the Atlantic side. We are going to see those brisk winds continuing through your Tuesday night. On the Caribbean side, waves are 6 to 8 feet with winds out of the east at 15 to 20 knots. Looking at the remainder of your forecast here, like I mentioned, we won't have quite as much activity as today, but we're still going to see a couple of spotty showers around for your Tuesday. A quiet day on Wednesday, a typical pattern, maybe a trade wind shower moves through in spots. Otherwise, mainly dry for many locations, 83 degrees, and perhaps a stray shower or 2 around for Thursday. Maybe a little bit of an uptick in the action on Friday with a shower or 2 and a high temperature of 83. And then on Saturday, we will also see a shower or 2 in the area with a high temperature of 83 degrees. Sandy, back to you.
Thank you for that. Let's take a look at our News 2 weather picture there by Jose Herrera, first grader, sharing this beautiful picture that includes a rainbow, which we might be lucky to catch a glimpse of this week. Jose, keep your eyes peeled to the clouds. Thank you for that. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address on the screen and tune in to see it right here on News 2. Stick around. We have News 2 Sports coming your way next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. Happy Easter Monday, everybody. The NBA 82-game preseason has come mercifully to a close. All Knicks fans say it couldn't come soon enough. And now it's time for the big fun. The NBA playoffs began on Saturday with wins by the Cavs, the Bucks, the Spurs, and the Jazz. Moving on to Sunday. The Trailblazers are at the Warriors, and Kevin Durant making his bid to become a champion with the Warriors. Third quarter action, and off the block, Durant to the hoop for the bucket and the foul. Golden State, well, they're up by 5. On to the fourth quarter. Warriors in transition, and Ian Clark, who, with the corner triple, puts the Warriors up by 7, and they take a 1-0 series lead with the 121-109 win. On to Boston, where Celtics guard Isaiah Thomas plays with a heavy heart after learning his sister died in an auto accident on Saturday. Jumping to the fourth quarter, and the Bulls' Jimmy Butler with the tough 3 puts the Bulls up by 4. Al Horford with the nifty move and the slam. The Celts, well, they're down by 2. 14 ticks on the clock, and Thomas with the floater. Celts, they're down by 2, but that's as close as they get. The Bulls go on to win 106-102, and they take a lead in the series 1-0. Sliding over to the nation's capital, the Hawks are taking on the Washington Wizards, and John Wall put on a show. The nice alley-oop to Marcin Gortat. Wall with the crossover, step back, and bang. Wall with the crossover again, and the sweet layup. He'd finished with 32 points and 14 assists. The Wizards go on to win 114-107, and they lead 1-0 in their series.
I take over the game in different ways. I think that's what made me a great player. Early on, if I'm not scoring the ball, I still got to be aggressive on both ends of the floor. I might not get the shot, but my teammates, they need me to be aggressive to get those guys over shots.
And in Houston, the Rockets versus the Thunder, it's James Harden versus Brian Westbrook. In the third, the Rockets are already up by 10, and their friendly bounce for Westbrook for the 3. And now for the play of the game. Let's just say James Harden even took this dude's lunch money. Oof. And finally, Harden with the long 3. He'd finish with 37 points as the Rockets take a 1-0 series lead. Tonight, it's the Pacers and the Cavs, followed by the Grizzlies and the Spurs. Both the Cavs and the Spurs are looking to go up 2-0 in their series. That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Gary, thank you for that. That is all for this edition of News 2. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful evening.